So, one of the concerns of most people is controlling anger, and they have failed to do so because controlling anger never really works. And the reason for this is that anger exists only for a reason, and any attempt to suppress it without addressing the cause will lead to more anger. So it's more like you suppressing a spring in your hands, and even though you are able to suppress it completely, the moment you release it, the spring will come out with a greater force. So anger always conveys a message about yourself. You do not have to be guilty about getting angry. Rather, you have to get connected with what your heart is saying to you because it is a part of you. You do not have to deny the emotions that you're feeling. Rather, write down the causes. What is making you angry? And as long as you don't address the cause, as long as you don't address the needs that are unmet, you can't control the anger completely, and you will stay stuck in the loop of blaming yourself for not being able to silence your anger. So, one of the reasons why you keep on getting angry is unmet needs, because there might be something that is going on inside. You might have a need that is unmet, and this need could be from your spouse, from your parents, from your friends, from anyone you love. You may be starving, and just because you're starving, you sometimes want to express it loudly in anger. And then you try to control it. Then you try to view people in a positive light. And eventually you fail because you have a need. So you don't have to reject what you're feeling. You don't have to disown your feeling and disown your needs. Your needs matter, and you have to write them down, even though the other person does not understand you, or the other person is constantly telling you that it's invalid for you to think how you're thinking or to feel what you're feeling. You have to completely own your emotions. The next one is broken boundaries. So maybe someone is stepping up on your boundaries and you're allowing this to happen because in major areas or in most of the areas, these people are really nice to you, really good to you. And then once you calculate good versus bad, what happens is that you start suppressing your need for boundaries. So you keep on allowing them to abuse you, to hurt you, to harm you just because you know that they love you, when in actual that's not the case. And the third reason could be unrealistic expectations. Sometimes you're expecting too much from people who lack the capacity to complete you. And these people might be really loving to you and they really care about you, but your hole in heart is so big. You want people to operate the way you want to be loved, and sometimes people lack that capacity because they are simple humans. They got their own lives, they got their own family, they got their own friends, they got their own circle. So in this case, you have to stop expecting too much, and there's a balance that you need to know what are the needs and what are the unrealistic expectations, which you're going to learn, of course, later on as you further follow my videos. So, one of the concern of my clients and my students is that they keep on coming to me saying to me that I've communicated enough times and nothing seems to work. Well, the thing is that it's not about just communication. Communication is a process, and you begin the process, you got to be patient. But after, let's say, you have communicated in a very neat way, in a very respectful way, but still the abuse goes on, or still the needs remain unmet, and still the other person is blind to your needs, then maybe it is just time to let go. Because sometimes moving on and letting go is the only solution, because you can't change people. You can only change what you accept and you don't accept. So any attempt to change people is just gonna build further resistance in them against the change. So you got to be really aware of this, that if they really love you, they are either going to work on their toxic traits, or they are just going to sit silently just watching you suffer. And if they are doing the latter, then you have to be willing to let them go. However, it just does not work in all relationships. It just does not work in all cases. Sometimes the time is not right. Sometimes you're stuck in certain situations. Sometimes the people who are toxic is your own family. Sometimes it is the people you really love and they love you too, but they have this definition of toxic love, so that's why they're imposing that kind of love onto you. And Also, you feel that you have a lot of responsibilities towards these people and you just can't simply let them go. So in this case, of course, I don't tell you to let them go. Rather, you have to learn to draw boundaries in a way that you limit your expectations where needs are unmet. For example, you have this need of appreciation from your spouse, but he never really appreciates you. And every day you dress yourself really well just that he looks at you. But the need remains unmet. So you have to change your intention. Stop doing it for him. Because the more you go into this expectation loop, the more you're going to get angry, the more you're going to unleash your anger on the person, and the more you're going to become desperate and needy. You're going to come off as needy, and this is going to further pull away the person. So, what you need to do is change the intention of dressing yourself up well. Just monitor the intention behind every action that you do, because if a person is not fulfilling the need, then no amount of effort can do so. So you have to limit your expectations where needs are unmet, then limit your availability where needs are unmet. Okay, let's say it's your friend and you want to help them. You keep on showing up for them in times of difficulty, in times of needs, and they keep on asking you for help in terms of assignment or project. But whenever you go there, sometimes they still insult you and it really hurts you. So, any place where your availability is not respected, you have to simply learn to say no, even though you might have guilt inside. You might be feeling that, well, you are obliged to help them, you're obliged to be there for them. No, you also deserve something in response as well. You deserve respect, you deserve appreciation or gratitude or at least acknowledgement. But if what they do is just abuse you, then you have to limit your availability, and it is really simple. What you can do is simply communicate, simply let them know that, see, I love to help you. I really want to help you. But the problem is that whenever I reach out to you, this is what you do. This is how you insult me, and it really hurts me, and I can't be available for hurt anymore. So if you're willing to work on your process or work on your patterns, then of course I'm going to be available. And the last one is be patient, because life is always a test. We are trials for each other. Humans are trials for each other. And, even Allah has promised in the Quran that in this life, we're going to be tested. We're going to be tested with fear, hunger, sadness, pain, hurt, trauma, all of these things. And we don't live in a perfect world. So, no matter how many resources you have, no matter how many skills you have, how much knowledge you have, there will still be always something that is going to bother you, which is a part of life. But you just have to monitor it, you just have to navigate through it by drawing boundaries, learning to communicate, being patient over some of the needs that are being unmet, and preserving your dignity. So, if you want to heal completely, I have some of the offers for you. You can either get involved in transformational coaching, get yourself enrolled in transformational coaching or feminine energy program or one-on-one counseling. Letting you know of the transformational coaching, it is 3 month program almost, and you're going to be in touch with me for 3 months. It has different packages as well, including one-on-one help, assignments, projects, and what it does is that it will give you a new perspective to life in terms of Islam, psychology, neuroscience, in terms of your purpose, relationships. So it's basically covering all areas. And you can reach me out on Instagram if you want to know more about this transformation coaching. The second one is feminine energy. And this program is going to help you in getting more connected with your emotions and also getting more emotionally independent, because it becomes really difficult to draw boundaries when you are so dependent on other people. So you have to stop being dependent on other people, and you have to really own your emotions. And this is only possible once you're connected with your feminine energy in the light of Islam, in the light of Quran. And last one is one-on-one counseling. You can go for one-on-one counseling sessions, you can go for one-on-one therapy sessions, and we're going to uproot the trauma.